Hello everyone, my name is Esteres Demona Suterus. I am a student in University of HKBP Nomensen Pematang Siantar. My academic number is 2201030029 and I am on my second year. So in this video, I will talk about English debate, especially Asian parliamentary debate system. So the first thing that we should know is what is English debate. So English debate is basically a structured discussion where groups or several people debate against each other about or a topic or motion that absolutely using rules and supported by facts. So in a debate, you argument with the other team and you must using rules and you give your argument supported by facts. So in general, there are some types of debate parliamentary system. So there is British parliamentary debate system, Australian parliamentary debate system, and Asian parliamentary debate system. So basically, Asian parliamentary debate system is similar to Australian system because it's the developing from Australian system. So we can find some familiar or similar things in Asian to Australian. And what is the purpose of doing English debate? So the first that we can train ourselves to be critical. We can train our mind to be critics. And then we can improve our ability to respond. Jadi kita mengembangkan kemampuan kita dalam merespon, dalam menanggapi pernyataan dari orang lain. And then to obtain a new point of view while maintaining your own point of view. Jadi kita bisa mendapatkan sudut pandang yang baru dari tim lawan, sementara kita tetap mempertahankan pendapat kita. Jadi kita membuka wawasan juga. And in Asian parliamentary debate system, there are some formats or rules that we have to follow. Why we should follow this? Because we must make the debate balance. So the first, there is team and order speakers, the timing, topic selection, and points of information. So for the team, we all know that in a debate, there are two teams that debating. We name it as the government and opposition. But sometimes it depends by the committee. Jadi terkadang nama dari tim ini boleh tergantung dari panitia penyelenggaranya. We can name it as affirmative negative or government opposition, and also we can name it pro and contra or anything else. And then for the order of the speaker, the debate will open firstly by the government team, by the prime minister. So both teams have three speakers. In government, we name it as prime minister, deputy prime minister, and government whip. And in opposition, we name it as deputy leader, the leader of the opposition, deputy leader of opposition, and the opposition whip. So the order atau urutan dari setiap pembicara ini, so the debate will open firstly by the government team, that is by prime minister, and then comes to the leader of the opposition to rebut, and then the next is deputy prime minister, after that the deputy leader of the opposition, and then it comes to government whip, and then after that it comes to opposition whip. So for the timing, each speakers have 7 minutes time to deliver their speech. Jadi masing-masing pembicara dari kedua tim mempunyai 7 menit waktu untuk menyampaikan pidatonya. So the whole debate will take 42 minutes because it's 7 times 6 speaker. And then after that 42 minutes, there are times that both team get to make an extra speech. Jadi ada pidato tambahan dari kedua tim. We name it or we called it as reply speech. So what we do in reply speech is like a summation speech where you comparing both the team and you try to persuade the judge, you try to persuade the adjudicators why your team must win against the other. Jadi di reply speech ini kita menyampaikan keseluruhan debat dan juga kita mengcompare bagaimana tim kita dengan tim lawan, dan kita berusaha untuk mengunggulkan poin dari tim kita. And in reply speech, it's only it's only doing by the first or the second speaker. So the third speaker didn't do the reply speech, although they end the speech in the end of the debate. Jadi walaupun pembicara ketiga berbicara di akhir debat, mereka bukanlah pelaku atau pembicara reply speech. Reply speech ini hanya dilakukan antara pembicara satu dengan pembicara dua. So it depends by the group discuss which speaker that do reply speech. And it start by the opposition team. Jadi reply speech akan dimulai dari tim oposisi. Tadi kan sudah government whip, after that opposition whip, and then langsung tim oposisi memberikan reply speech-nya. And reply speech only have 4 minutes for you to deliver your speech. And the next format is the topic selection. So every debate needs a topic, of course. So in Asian parliamentary debate system, you'll be given 3 different topics to choose from. Jadi akan diberikan 3 topik berbeda kepada kedua tim. Jadi 3 topik berbeda ini kepada kedua tim sama topiknya. And then you and your team will compare which topic is the best. Jadi akan membandingkan dari ketiga topik ini, mana yang paling cocok, mana yang paling menarik, mana yang paling terbaik untuk didebatkan. How do you choose it? How do we done it? We done it by rank each topic. Jadi kita memilihnya dengan memberikan ranking pada ketiga topik tersebut. Ranking 1, 2, 3. So for the topic that ranked third by the team will not be discussed, will not be debated. So example, maybe topic 1, 2, 3 by government, topic 1 ranked 3. And by opposition, the topic 2 ranked 3. So the topic 1 by government ranked 3 is not going to be discussed, and the topic 2 is not going to be discussed. And it makes the topic 3 is the topic to be debated. And in a situation where both teams rank the same topic third, it will be a flip coin. Jadi ketika topik yang sama, satu topik yang sama, sama-sama di rank 3 dari kedua tim, maka namun kedua topik lainnya berbeda rankingnya dari kedua tim tersebut, maka akan dilakukan switch. Nah, switch ini dilakukan untuk mengambil tim mana yang memenangkan akan menjadi tim yang memilih topik untuk perdebatan. So, the team that wins has the opportunity. The team that lose only accept hanya menerima keputusan dari tim yang menang tersebut. Example, maybe the topic 3 ranked 3 by both team, but the topic 1 and the topic 2 by government, the topic 1 ranked second, by the opposition ranked first, and the topic 2 by the government ranked second, by the opposition ranked first. Jadi topik 3 tidak akan didebatkan, jadi kita memilih antara topik 1 dan 2. Okay? The next is points of information, or we can say it as POI. So POI is when the speaker speaking between the first to 6 minutes when they deliver their speech. So the speaker has 7 minutes time to speech, and between the first to 6 minutes when they deliver their speech, the other team have the opportunity to rise up and over a question. Jadi kita sebagai tim lawan, ketika dari tim sebelah sedang berbicara, kita mempunyai kesempatan untuk memberikan pertanyaan, atau we can also give a statement, we can also give a comment, but remember that you have to make it short because POI only give you 15 seconds and 2 sentences, so you must make it clearly and shortly, briefly, okay? And for the speaker who being given the POI, you can choose whether to accept or not. You don't have to take all the question, but you should take at least one. And you preferably take two. Jadi setidaknya dari POI yang diberikan dari tim lawan, kita yang dikenai POI, setidaknya kita menerima satu POI dari tim lawan. Dan disarankan untuk menerima dua. Why? Because the POI itself adds a huge element of interactivity between the both team. Jadi akan ada interaksi antara kedua tim tentang perdebatan tersebut, menjadikan perdebatan menjadi nyata dari kedua tim jika ada POI, jika kita menerima POI. And then remember that in reply speech there is no POI, because in reply speech it is the summary and you cannot give a POI. The teams wins debate not by being better by the format, but by how they make a strong position, how they rebut the other team. And next that we want to talk about is the role of the speakers. Every speakers have different responsibility, have different roles. So for the first speakers, we know that the debate will open firstly by the government team, by the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is the first speaker in the debate. So what is their responsibility though? So they have three essential things that they must do, she or he must do. What is that? So for the first, they define and set up the debate. So what define means? Define means that how you and your team going to understand and apply some of the word. Jadi tentang bagaimana kita memberikan pandangan, bagaimana kita mendefinisikan topik yang akan kita bicarakan tersebut. Bukan tentang memberikan pengertian kamus, namun kita memberikan maksudnya topik ini bagaimana definisi. So example, topic is prohibit children having personal cell phone, melarang anak mempunyai ponsel pribadi. So what you define? You define the prohibit, maksudnya melarang itu yang bagaimana, okay? And then you set up the debate. Setting up the debate, setting up the stage means that you choose the context. Jadi kita menentukan konteks, kita mengkonsep argumen debat kita. Nah, kita mengkonsepnya bagaimana? We can say what is the background, how is this happen, or maybe why is this important, or what the audience or the educators must know according to the topic. And then the second role of Prime Minister is present team's position and case. Maksudnya adalah, jadi Prime Minister bertugas untuk mempresentasikan status dari tim mereka itu bagaimana, statusnya dalam menanggapi kasus tersebut, menanggapi topik tersebut. Jadi misalnya dia mengatakan bahwa melarang anak artinya begini. Kamu jelaskan statusmu. Saya sebagai kakak yang melihat adik saya semakin tidak teratur, saya mendukung topik ini untuk melarang anak mempunyai ponsel pribadi, something like that. And you present your team case. What's that mean? It means that the arguments of the entire team, you present your team split. Jadi mempresentasikan, memberitahu apa yang akan kau bicarakan dan temanmu bicarakan. So you make the point of your team. Jadi menjadikan case-mu lebih terarah, lebih tersusun. Jadi kamu memberikan poinmu apa, your team makes what is the point. Okay? And then the last is you make one or two arguments. After you define it, after you say what's your position, you say why, and then you make your arguments. You say what is the reason. You say what is your opinion, your argument tentang mosi atau topik tersebut. And then after the Prime Minister speaking, it comes to the leader of the opposition. So they have similar role to Prime Minister. What is that? So the first is the leader of the opposition respond to the definition and set up. address how you and the Prime Minister approaching the problem. Nah, jadi maksud dari merespon ini adalah bagaimana perbedaan antara pendapatmu dengan pendapat dari Prime Minister terhadap topik tersebut. Nah, misalnya ada kekeliruan yang disampaikan dari Prime Minister atau hal yang tidak sengaja terlewatkan dari Prime Minister, you can add it. Jadi kita bisa menambahkan informasi tambahan mengenai definisi yang telah diberikan dari Prime Minister tadi. Kita merespon, kita bisa mengkoreksi, atau we can also agree. Remember that as much as how you want to disagree, you must agree. Because sometimes the Prime Minister give a general definition about the topic. So if you're not agree, it will be seperti terlalu melebih-lebihkan, bahwa kamu sangat menolak dari tim lawan. And then after that, after you respond, you present your case and your position, same like the Prime Minister. Jadi kita memberitahu status kita sebagai apa, kita bagaimana menanggapinya, and how you and your partner will make the case. What will you talk about? Okay, and then after that you rebut the Prime Minister. Jadi kita menyanggah argumen dari Prime Minister. You say why Prime Minister's argument is wrong or ineffective. Jadi katakan bahwa pendapat dia itu salah. Apa yang menjadikan pendapat dia itu salah? Berikan koreksi, berikan bagian yang mana dia yang salah, mana kekeliruannya dia, kenapa dia salah. And then after that you make 1 or 2 arguments. Of course, ketika kita memberikan argumen, kita juga bisa merebut. We say that, so my argument will rebut the Prime Minister. You say it like that. And then you assert your stand, perjelas statusmu sebagai tim yang menolak. And then after that we come to the second speaker that we called it as deputy speakers. So the role from both teams is similar to each other. So the first role from deputy speakers by government and by opposition is defend your case. Priority to defend your team. Jadi prioritasnya adalah membentengi atau melindungi timnya. So you identify the points from your speaker who has been attacked by the other team. Nah, jadi kita mengidentifikasi nih mana argumen atau mana case, point of view atau sudut pandang atau kasus yang disanggah dari tim lawan. Nah, jadi kita membentengi itu, kita mempertahankan bahwa case ini masih baik, case ini masih benar. And then you say why it is false. Kenapa bantahan itu salah? And then after that you attack the case on the other team. Nah, sama lah ini kayak merebut. Nah, jadi setelah kita mendefend, kita melindungi, kita katakan, nah pendapatmu itu salah, begini, your argument is wrong. And then after that you present your new arguments. Nah, setelah kita merebut, kita membantah bahwa pendapat dari tim lawan itu salah, kita merebut, kita memberikan argumen kita. Of course you have your own arguments, and then you present it. And then after that we comes to the whip speakers. So whip speaker is speech in the end of the debate. Both team has also similar role. So for the whip speaker from government and also from opposition, they have to summarize and defend the case. So jadi case yang telah dibawakan dari speaker 1 dan speaker 2, you summarize it, you present it in a briefly way. Jadi kita menyampaikannya secara ringkas. Case-case yang telah disampaikan dari teman setim kita, and then you defend it. Katakan bahwa it's still relevant, it's still good. And then after that, you summarize and prioritize issue in the debate. You identify what you think are the most important points in the debate. Nah, jadi dari case-case yang telah ada tadi, yang telah disampaikan dari teman setim tadi, nah kita cari nih, kita identify mana nih isu yang belum bisa dibantah dari tim lawan. Nah, itu kita prioritaskan, itu kita hadirkan kembali secara ringkas, dan kita katakan bahwa ini nih, pendapat ini masih benar, ini belum bisa kan kamu sanggah. Nah, after that you analyze and review issue. You can provide new rebuttals, you can give new example, you analysis. Nah, jadi kita bisa analisis lagi isu yang telah kita bawa, dan kita bisa menyanggah isu dari tim lawan kita. And then what you cannot do is you give new arguments. As the speaker who end the debate, you cannot give your own argument. So it's only by the first and the second speaker. You only give the summarize, you only give the important issue, and you defend it, and then you give new analysis from that. And then after the whip speaker's speech, we comes to the reply speaker. So reply speaker, remember, it's only be done by the first or the second speaker from each group. What they do in reply speech? So the reply speaker summarize the debate. So they present the debate, the whole debate, in a briefly about what the whole debate was about. Ya, jadi kita menjelaskan secara ringkas keseluruhan dari isi debat tersebut. Nah, kita menghadirkan argumen kita, case kita, pendapat kita dari tim kita, namun juga kita menghadirkan dari yang lain. So you have to write it in your notes. Nah, jadi kita harus teliti nih perjalanan dari awal debat ini bagaimana, apa yang kita sampaikan, apa yang tim lawan sampaikan. You must present it briefly, you must summarize it. What are some important issue, what happened in that debate, what is the point from your group. And then for the reply speaker, it is important to be as objective as possible. Karena di reply speech ini kita bukan hanya menyampaikan keseluruhan debat, namun kita juga nge-bias, kita mengunggulkan poin dari tim kita, but not too much. Jadi jika kita melakukannya terlalu berlebihan, itu akan menjadi penilaian bagi juri bahwa kita tidak bisa menjadi pihak yang objektif. Kita boleh memberikan keunggulan dari tim kita, namun tugas kita adalah menyampaikan keseluruhan debat dengan menyampaikan isu yang paling kuat menurut kita. Okay? And then you present your team positions and your case. So what did you do? Your team do? What did you present? What your argument? What did you argue them? Nah, kita menyampaikan apa yang sudah kita sampaikan, apa argumen kita, bagaimana kita argumen mana yang menjadi perdebatan antara kita dengan tim lawan. Kita menyampaikan itu, posisi kita, status kita seperti apa tadi. You say it in briefly way because you only have 4 minutes and it shows how your arguments on your case is good. Nah, kita juga menunjukkan bagaimana case yang kita bawakan tadi itu masih bertahan, masih relevan. And then after that, you compare your position. You show that your team position is better than the other team. Nah, setelah kita menyampaikan keseluruhan debat itu, kita sampaikan juga. Nah, pada poin-poin ini, tim kami masih lebih unggul. Jelaskan poin-poinnya secara briefly, secara ringkas. Nah, disitulah kita membujuk atau membujuk juri bahwa tim kita layak menjadi pemenang. You briefly summarize the other team's position, then compare. Nah, kita juga menyampaikan posisi atau case yang dibawakan dari tim lawan tadi dan kita membandingkannya dengan tim kita. Okay, so that is for the role of the players. And then for the adjudicators, untuk juri, It can be 1 or 3 or 5 or 1, 3 or 5 people for the adjudicators. Intinya jumlah dari adjudicatorsnya ini ganjil. Nah, biasanya juga jumlah adjudicatorsnya, jurinya ada 3 orang biasanya. Nah, apa sih yang dinilai oleh adjudicators ini? So, the adjudicators menilai matter, manner, and method. So, for the matter, it gives 40 points, 40 poin untuk matter, untuk manner 40 poin, dan untuk method 20 poin. Nah, untuk matter ini apa sih yang dinilai? Nah, matter ini menilai bagaimana argumen dan opini disampaikan. Se-evidence apa? Bagaimana dia menyampaikannya secara evidence, logical reasoning, and presentation of said arguments. Nah, jadi seberapa logikkah argumen yang disampaikannya? Apakah bisa diterima oleh juri atau tidak? Bagaimana dia menyampaikan argumennya? And then for the manner, mereka menilai the style of delivery, the persuasion skills, and the conduct of the debaters. Nah, di sini di manner ini bagaimana kita menyampaikannya, style apa? Apa artinya? Apakah kita sopan? Apakah kita tidak? Apakah kita menyampaikannya dengan bahasa yang gampang dimengerti? Bagaimana kita mempersuasi, bagaimana kita mengajak, membujuk. Kemudian untuk method menilai the response to the dynamics of the debate and the observance of the rules of the debate. Nah, di sini dinilai bagaimana kita mengikuti rules-nya, bagaimana kita merespon dinamika dari debat tersebut, mengikuti rules-nya apa tidak. Okay, so for the matter, it gives 40 points, 40 poin. For the manner, 40, and for the method, 20. Okay, so I think that's all that we could know from Asian parliamentary debate system. That's all I can present to you. I hope that you understand about Asian parliamentary debate system, and we can present it, or we can do it as well as possible. And then I'm sorry if I make any mistake. I hope that all of us can learn as much as we could. Okay, that's all from me. I hope that you understand the whole video. Thank you and good luck.